some lives.
Some loves.
Some dreams.
Tiny shells gathered by some vast sea. How many moments across? Quiet waves sweep moonlight across the shore, each small grain of sand making memorials to remember you by. Tiny lights flash within July waves, somehow reminding me of those eyes I once so intimately knew. Stars flutter in other skies. Somewhere within my mind I see you. How vast this sea between us, rumbling, moving, growing towards some retreating shore. I stand here, remembering my love for you and nothing more. Grains of sand flow between my fingers, and a bittersweet memory lingers.
I remember her. I remember how she danced.
Black mantilla, red rose, black lace dress.
Music drifts into the quiet alcoves of my mind. The cognac takes me back. I remember her and our first kiss. I remember the touch of lips, my arms around her tiny waist, her thighs feeling warm against mine.
I remember the moon.
The cognac takes me back. The smoke from the candles curls, wreathes, floats, drifts above our heads. Moorish phantoms in this Moorish garden. I remember the Sultan's palace. I remember Morocco. And in remembering Tangier, I remember her.
And love, and the moon.
Cognac takes me back. She offers to dance for me. She fills the palace courtyard.
I will dance.
She smiles and offers to take me with her on journey to dance in all lands and cities. To be her paramour. I would wear Spanish rings and I could,
Only if I wished it.
sometimes dance paso doble. I could forget school and all the rules of that land called home and heritage. I would go with her. The moon shone. I remember the moon and the golden fish that swam in multiple reflections in the pool. Cognac takes me back. I remember all our nights together bound in love. My first consummation. And I remember her perfume, making her body glow in the pale light. Such sheer delight. I remember her when music plays and candles burn. I imagine she remembers me.
That foolish young man that could not be kept, could not be possessed, that would not be...
Her gigolo. The cognac takes me back. Now I would go.
Ah, heaven must be a little like this. A cup of coffee laced with cognac, a beautiful book or two, and you. I wonder what the angels do for sex. One wonders about those who would not see, who would not know. Perhaps heaven, after all, is just for show.
Small white flowers with small green leaves, picked by the wall of another's dream, blooming forever here, pressed between the pages of my journal. They cause my dream. In dreaming, I see you, standing in the river wind, and I am once again sharing that same breeze with you. I recall the night before, the consummation of our love, and I recall the warmth, the quality of those moments, in the movements we made called love. Our bodies knew the touch, the kiss, the need, the breath of one another. This small branch of flowers pressed within my book can bring me more of ecstasy than all the roses in my garden, for they were plucked where you walked with me in the river wind. They know your touch, the touch of your fingers, your dew-soft, sun-drenched lips, as I do also. Who would have thought a memory like this dried flowers could bestow? I would that they could grow.
Filled spaces on the card that year, and still a losing game. My love always read the letters, bingoed half my heart away. My love always read the numbers, but oh, such a game we play. Bingoed often in the twilight of that winning summer's nights, gaming through the fall and winter, oh, that April new delights. But when next summer came to tennis, my love loved and went away.
Would that there were other ways to say the same lines. Would that there were other songs to sing. Would that there were other poems to write. And yet, joyously, there always are, for this feeling, this ageless emotion, this happiness, this abundance, this love is new. What is new each time, my love, in you.
And though he saw me look at him, and though he saw me stare, I only know he looked at me, and that is all I care.
He gave her a rose.
A trifle affected.
Each time they spent a night together in love entwined. It wasn't easy always, for she, paranoid,
Psychotic even.
often made it difficult, yet he gave her a rose each time.
You ought to make it a cactus, she chided, walking through her door.
Not where they made love. You see, she had another lover. He smiled, or at least tried, but something died.
The next night they spent together, she was moved. She sighed. Previously forbidden endearments into his ear, the roses had equaled 5. Tonight, it would make 6.
By the time they reached her apartment parking lot, she had arranged her face and mood
Inside and out.
She nonchalantly seized the tissue-wrapped prize before he could offer it.
And rushed through the door, disappearing up the stairs without so much as a smile of good night.
He drove away.
When she entered her room, she filled the bud vase. She ripped the tissue.
It was green.
She found no card, with sweet poetic lines.
As before.
But to her eventual dismay, a cactus.
The cactus of their farewell. For cacti, unlike daisies, tell.
2 people in one bed hold forth a tender note of hope for all of us, as each to each they make the movements called love. 2 beings deep within the soft trust of those moments when 2 pulses beat as one. On the altar of 2 hearts is offered a kiss in prayer. Be gentle and be kind. 2 people in one bed move as one, and in that liquefaction of inner life called love, develop bliss. And in that joyous moment, find oneness in that kiss. Some tiny part of each will go as offering unto the other, becoming thus the only reality in all of this.
A tender note of hope for all of us.
Your innocence of youth, your life, your charm, beauty's understood. But are you so completely honest with me? Am I with you? What should we say to each other within this exquisite interval that is our life? What should we not say? What should be left unsaid?
You walk along the path. A bend turns out of sight in mist. Wet daisies tremble in the breeze while you continue on. I walk along the path. I reach the bend, but now the mist is gone. Far beyond that bend is another, And somewhere I call out, but there is silence. You have gone on. I am on the path alone. And yet, will I one day turn a bend out of the mist, and you will be there? Will you smile, taking my hand? Will you say, but wait, this is for then, across the flow of years. I hear my own voice now, on this path where scarlet flowers grow. I love you, and that is all I know.
I would part when all about is love, remembering the warmth of our desire. I would say farewell when it can cause the pain of vanquished joy, of tears and rain. I would that out of this can grow a memory sweet and warm and free, as youthful and rejuvenating as you were to me. I would that this shall be. For if I stayed, my fear is that fate would make us hate and mar the cameo of our gleam.
You gave me lilacs, and then you went away. Perhaps we'll meet again one day. You shall speak, but I will not stay. Perhaps I'll give you lilacs.
You see, I do not really understand the flowers. I walk as others always have, the walks between the rows of tulip, daffodil, or grape-like lilac tree, and wandering still wonder where it all leads, leaving me. You see, so like these blooms and abundant glories of the garden, I too was born in May, and walk abundant rows of days in my own lives, and find between 8 a.m. once in a while, usually 10, and 5 p.m. other rows of flowers by walks in other gardens with other people walking them.
I do not really understand flowers. They remain so calm, without 5 a.m. cocktails, hors d'oeuvres, or other people's charms. I stand somewhere, at least, I suppose somewhere, along the edge of my own garden and its rows. Another shadow appears. I count the birds fluttering above their bath and know it isn't one of them. I view the rose arbor, later summer blooming, not so rushed by spring. People understand and wait for them, and sit upon a bench beside the walk.
I see the shadow moving toward me, and I turn. There, haloed by the sun and flanked by clouds of forsythia, stands an image known so well by me. I offer a smile and a hand to you, my friend. I offer my garden, and I would, if you would let me, walk in your garden. Perhaps we might better understand each other's flowers, viewed from some distance away. Were you also born in May? But please, don't worry. I wouldn't hold some other love against you.
Tomorrow is my birthday. I'll be 80. 80 sounds like such a long time. But it wasn't. Not really. Not to me. I wonder what I'll do to celebrate. Perhaps I'll lunch at the better cafeteria. And who can tell? At the school they may put a candle on my piece of pie. Someone might. How strange the school seems. How long ago it was when students came to me almost before drawing a line to learn. I'll bet some reputations last. I'll bet some people survive. Then I'll walk to the post office and visit Max. What's wrong with me? Max is retired and died. And I'm alive. And 80. I'll walk to the park. It's not very far. But I must remember not to repeat my actions of last month. She was such a pretty little girl. I wanted to touch her childish warmth. But her mother dragged her away, a filthy old man. But I only patted her hair. I loved the pink bow she wore. And I certainly could have spared the mint I had from my pocket. It was even still wrapped. Wish her mother hadn't thrown the candy on the ground. I'd frightened the child. It cost a dime. Her hair was so soft, so warm, so alive. My God, my father lived to be 85.
Dreams.
Dreams.
Where is the vision that you wanted me to dream? How could I dream it, I who must sing my songs? Sometimes I feel so useless, and then
a song comes on. Tonight there is poetry in the wind. The wind grows. A crystal sonnet of the world glides past, as crystal sonnets of the world cover the grass. Each composed, each drawn on its own design, each crystal sonnet more fragile than Venetian glass. Yet as the lawn is blanketed in soft repose, each crystal sonnet to the other grows, making moon bridges we can walk upon.
Perhaps when the stars are mourned and there are no birds in the sky.
Perhaps when whirling globes of fire etch the darkness and day and night are gone.
Perhaps when the flowers are so old and cannot grow older, and the water is no longer cool, no longer refreshes my aching body.
perhaps when the sea no longer washes the trembling shore.
Perhaps when everything is old and tired and forgotten, and violets desert the woods, and rhododendrons fail the glens,
And I cannot remember.
the splendorous moments of life.
Then I too will be tired of loving and living and dreams.
Perhaps.